Oh yeah, we got him. Trey, Frazier, and Maestro Styles, you know we got one. Right back like we left something. We don't duck smoke, we want all of it. So line them up, Trey shot with the blade, you know we sizing it up. I'm quick to catch the fade, you know Styles making the cut. Cause we coming out clean every time that we showing up.
It's gonna be called The Barbershop.
What up, what up? Welcome, folks. It's a brand new episode of the Barbershop Sports Talk Podcast. Streaming live on Instagram, also on the YouTube channel, also Facebook, and on Twitter at Barbershop SPOR2, also on Twitch as well. It's the homie Trey Frazier here, and we got the homie Maestro Styles here. Or so I thought I had Maestro Styles here. Looked like his camera just kind of cut out for a minute there, but he'll work his way back onto the live record really soon here. But yeah, happy Tuesday to everybody out there. Hopefully y'all having a really good week. Hopefully things are going well for you guys life wise. Got just a few things tonight to really kind of get into. As soon as Maestro gets back on here, just want to promote some stuff real quick before we get Maestro in here. Just to let y'all know, we still got some some of these hats available. New era snapback joints. Still got a few of them left. If you guys interested, scan that QR code. Let your boy know you want a hat. We'll get one shipped out to you as quickly as possible. And then we still got the red, white, and blue joints, the snapback trucker hats, $35 there. Again, the same thing. QR code is right there. Place your order. We'll get one shipped out to you as soon as possible. And looks like Maestro is back on. Let's bring him in. All right, man.
I don't know. Can you hear me at all?
I can hear you, bro.
Because I don't know what's going on right now.
Man.
All right, let me see.
Mine playing tricks on me.
All right, because I can hear you, but I can barely hear you. Do it sound like I'm lagging a little bit?
Yeah, you definitely lagging. You're definitely lagging.
Okay. All right, well, here we are freestyling again. Let's freestyle.
Gotta get the microphone and gotta get all that stuff.
Let me come back out.
All right, yep, that's a bet. Yeah. Apologize for the technical difficulties, people. Just having some, issues with Maestro's equipment, but he'll be back on in just a few minutes. Again, happy Tuesday to everybody out there tuning in. Trey Frazier's here in the building. It's the Barbershop Sports Talk Podcast. Just want to remind folks, we do stream live every Tuesday on several of our platforms. We got the IG live set up too. So for anybody out there that let them know they can follow us on IG, and our handle is at Barbershop Sports Talk Podcast. Also, we have Twitter as well. You can follow us on Twitter at Barbershop SPOR2. It's really my account. I don't know if people really have kind of got the gist of it, but the Twitter account to the podcast is really my account. So, Maestro has his own Twitter account at Maestro Styles. So if you want to follow him there, you can do that also. Let's see if we can try to get Maestro back in here. All right.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Barely though. It might just be a volume issue. It might just be maybe turn your volume up,
I don't think
maybe on
that's
your
what
mic, maybe.
I don't think that's what it is. But we gon' we gonna press on.
Okay.
You
Maybe.
can barely hear me.
Okay. You were a little bit better there. You were a little bit better there.
Okay,
So I
well let me
think
get up on the mic. Let me get up on the
we just
mic.
we just gonna have to. Yeah. We just gonna have to rock with what we got, man. We just gotta rock with what we got, man. What's other than technical difficulties, man? What's been good this week?
Good man, good man. Can't complain, man. Hey,
That's what's up.
we gonna be in here for a good time, not a long time. You feel me?
Yes, sir. Absolutely. I guess I'll start the show off this way because it seems like every year, this time of year, there's always this question about the NBA All Star game and whether it's outdated. Do we care about the dunk contest? Is the format of what they're trying to do East versus West, or is the Giannis team versus the LeBron team? And this year we got USA versus the world. Um, I guess first off, well, I'm not even going to ask you because I know that you had no attention on watching any of the All Star festivities. I haven't had any intentions on it either, but I caught myself watching some of the, if not most of the 3-point shooting contest,
Okay.
which was pretty interesting. That was a really, to me, that was probably the more interesting of the weekend's activities. Shout out to Dame for winning back to back to back now, right? This is three in a row. This is three shooting contests in a row that he's
I didn't even
won.
realize that.
Yeah, yeah. And I think what makes this one more impressionable is that he's healing from this Achilles injury, so he came out to just do this, and then he's just going to go back to rehabbing until he's ready to play. So yeah, that was cool. That was pretty cool to see.
Did you feel a way
Um,
about that though?
as far as him just kind of coming in to,
Like if
no,
you
I don't. I don't, just because of the Mac McClung conversation, because
okay.
I think for like 3 years in a row they've been trying to get somebody interesting to do the dunk contest. And really, it really isn't a comparison in terms of when people say the dunk contest is struggling. No one's ever said that the 3-point shooting contest was struggling per se, but I think having Dame there, I think, brought up some really great conversations in terms of him coming back from the injury, him really doing this while he's rehabbing off an Achilles, I think is maybe the bigger story. And it creates headlines, obviously, and it creates eyeballs. So I don't have a problem with it, to be honest with you. If they're going to bring Mac McClung from the G League to do the dunk contest, I mean, hell, why not bring somebody who's rehabbing off an Achilles? I mean, one of the all-time, great players in the league. I mean, might I add, to do the 3-point contest. I'm cool with it.
Yeah, I won't go as far as to say I got a problem with it. I think my
Mhm.
issue, again, not issue. It's just like for the people who would say, and Maestro, it's supposed to be getting better, man. Like you know what I'm saying. And I guess it's I don't know. Well, I've shot many at 3 points in my day, so you need your legs, you need all those things. But I
Yeah.
mean, clearly he didn't have to do no whole bunch. Like he had a good set shot.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? I don't even know if that's how I never paid that much attention to his process to shooting the ball, so I don't know if he had to adjust it to do this or anything.
Hmm.
It just felt like, and I guess I kind of agree more than I disagree. I don't really care, you know what I'm saying? And like the All Star game don't have that much, luster. So I guess bring in who you could bring in. But
Hmm.
I did when I saw that he won. It was just like, oh shit, I didn't even know he was participating. But
Yeah.
there you go. Like, oh, okay, you won again. Like, I thought you was injured. Like, what we doing here?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, he doesn't have to cut. You know what I'm saying? Like it's just really
Yeah,
you
it's just
shooting at one
running and
rack,
shooting.
and then you just run. You just pretty much kind of run into the next rack. I mean, you're
And I'm
not
sure he's
putting.
working out. It's not like he just,
Yeah,
sitting
yeah,
up,
yeah, yeah.
you know.
Yeah. He's rehabbing. He's doing all the things he's got to do to get back 100%. To be on the actual basketball court. Playing meaning. Playing some real games and not just shooting threes all damn long. But um, I was fine with it. I mean, he didn't have to do really much to make me think that he could potentially re-rupture something. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like it wasn't nothing that I thought he was gonna, re-injure or anything. So I thought that was a cool story. I thought that was to me that was kind of the story of pretty much the whole weekend's festivities there. Um, as far as the actual All Star game itself, which I partook in any of, I did see some highlights, but I really wasn't paying much attention to it, but I will say that my timeline of people that did watch it, some I got majority of the people saying that they actually liked the format of USA versus the world. Now, USA meaning born, American born players. And I think there were two USA teams because of the amount of American players. And then the world team is all the international people, Joker, Luca, those
Hmm.
folks. And I guess they did I'm trying to think the format. So USA versus the world, then it was the world versus the other USA team, then it was
Hmm.
both USA teams together, and then there was a final match. Um,
Like the youngest
so
against the old folks, or something. Yeah.
something like that, something
That's
like
the one
that.
I saw. I saw the last one. That was the youngins against I guess the old people. I guess that KD. I heard
The
them saying
KD,
that,
Steph,
that was his
Braun.
idea. Yeah, against
Hmm.
like Ant Man and the youngins in short.
Yeah, was it De'Aaron Fox or De'Aaron Fox? I think was on the vet USA team. I think.
He probably was on the vet team. What I recall in watching it is that
Hmm.
the youngest was blowing the old folks out. Like
Mm.
they was like at one point it was like 20 something to like 5 or something. Like some wild
Yeah,
shit. And I was like, damn,
yeah.
like and I'm sitting there. It was interesting because I was like, man, like these youngins, the old folks are old folk and the youngins are youngins. Like we talking about people that we
Hmm.
regard, KD, LeBron, like, and they was getting smoked. They was getting smoked at the beginning. I mean, obviously the youngins eventually won it, but
Yeah.
I was like, man, these. I mean, obviously greatest basketball players, some of the greatest basketball players to ever live, and certainly the best in the world right now. But not against these youngins. Not against these
Mm.
youngins. It's sometimes I think about sometimes how we kind of regard, the LeBrons and the KDs of the world, and then we forget like these Bamas is 30, 35, 40. In LeBron's
Mm.
case, like as good as
42.
as good as they are,
Yeah. Yeah.
these youngins, 25, like they can't do nothing with these youngins.
Hmm.
Them youngins ran them up and down the floor. It was it was nasty. I was watching one fast break where back in 2003 you drive and you go to you go to the rack, and Anthony Edwards played back like he almost made a move so he could step back and shoot the three. And it was
Yeah.
like, man,
Right.
this game in 2026, bro.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, some interesting stuff, man. Weird,
I guess
weird
my
stuff.
I guess my overall thoughts, and I like I said, I don't pretend to have watched much of this going on in the weekend, but um I think this is this. I think that, I mean, shout out to them for trying to do things that to try to up the weekend and up the viewership. But I think this is just it for right now. Until the stars decide they're gonna do star things, no other way to slice it. like
Mm-hmm.
meaning getting these dunk contests, getting these 3-point contests. I know Dame was there, but you know what I'm saying.
Yep.
Like I don't know this nigga from the Heat that won that dunk contest. I don't know who he is. And
Yeah.
and and with all due respect to Jason Richardson's son, that bounce don't look the same when his father used to jump in back in the day. You know what I'm saying? It just don't.
Mm-hmm.
The stars need to be a part of this for this to kind of get back. I will stand on that hill and I will down that hill.
Yeah. I'd
NBA
like to
All
see
Star.
Ant-Man be a part of this thing. Like
Yeah,
I
it's just
I don't
not
know,
gonna be
man.
fun. It's just not gonna be fun watching. Pardon the term, but nobody's participating in these events.
Yeah, yeah, it's unfortunate. I mean, because these guys, I mean, this these guys that are just role players are getting the notoriety on these stages, and that's probably as best of notoriety that they're gonna get. You know what I mean? And
We don't
you
want
big
to
them up
see
for it.
them. This is for casual fans, and casual fans don't know who these guys are.
Sure,
Uh,
sure. But at the end of the day, the casual fans are getting to know these guys at the end of the day
are
too.
they really though? But are they really? Like we
They getting
saw
to, they
you.
getting to know them now. They're not saying that they're stars or anything like that, but you're being in as a casual fan watching that dunk contest. You are being introduced to guys that you had no idea existed. Like
Sure.
I didn't know Jason Richardson had a son in the league. I didn't know that.
Yes. Yeah. We talked about him though. We talked about when he got drafted.
Have we? Okay,
Yeah. Yeah.
maybe just slipped my mind or something. But out of sight, out of mind. You know what I'm
Sure.
saying? It's it's
Sure.
it's it's one of those things.
Yeah,
For sure.
but it's in it a sure introduction and all that. But what has this done for any of these guys? You know what I'm saying? Like any of
Yeah,
these guys, these role players, like their stock what hasn't been upped. I mean, Mac McClung can't make a team. You know what I'm saying?
not
Like
lately. Not lately.
yeah,
Yeah, not
yeah.
lately. Yeah.
Well, when is the last in your mind? When is the last player that was kind of was a nobody role player and kind of got upgraded to I guess a higher profile role player or a star.
I would say Aaron Gordon, maybe the last one.
You think his stock? You think his stock
I
was
think
up?
I think his stock was up, and I think the fact that he was on a championship team, I think, helped his stock go up a little bit more. Like people talk about Aaron Gordon. And I'm not saying that they talk about him in terms of him being like a 1A or something like that, but
Okay.
folks know who Aaron Gordon is. Like I think the casuals know who Aaron Gordon is, and
And the
yes,
dunk contest did that.
it's for two
I
reasons. It's
I
for
I'll agree. I think it's the dunk contest. Obviously,
yeah,
he won a championship later on, sure,
yeah,
but okay, I can agree with that. Aaron Gordon.
yeah, yeah. And if I'm not mistaken, wasn't Zach Levine in that same dunk contest
Yeah,
that
yeah, he
same
was,
year?
but I feel like Zach Levine was cooking anyway. Though I don't know I don't know that upped Zach Levine's stock. Aaron
Okay,
Gordon, I'm with you. I'm with you 100%. I don't know if
okay.
that upped Zach
Yeah, you
Levine's
might be
stock.
right because Zach Levine, I think, was a starter at that point
Yeah,
in
and he
his
was
career.
like I think by that time he had. I think by the time he got into that dunk contest, he had already had like a 40-point game or 50-point game at some.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
he
But
was a
I think,
starter in the league. You might be right. You might be right about that. So yeah, Aaron Gordon. That's the last name that
and that's
comes to
10 years
mind
ago.
where it's helped. 2016. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, yeah. It's been a long time, but you're right. Guys like Ant Man. Hey, I want to see you win a dunk contest. Jalen Brown. Like I I want to see dudes do this. Didn't Jalen Brown do a dunk contest? Am I
Don't give me the.
mistaken?
I don't know.
Okay.
Don't give me the number.
Okay, I'm
Okay.
having visions of him being in a dunk contest for some reason, probably because I thought I might have seen him there or something like that. But if he hasn't been, then yeah, he's another candidate that I think should be able to step up and
I'm cool.
participate.
I'm cool on
But
Jalen Brown. I ain't seen no emphatic dunks that make me feel like I want to see him in a dunk contest.
well, you're not gonna really see dunks in a regular season game to make you believe
You're
that he
not
can
gonna
do it
see
in a
trick
dunk
dunks.
contest.
No, no, you're not gonna see trick dunks. But like
Yeah,
you ain't seen many trick dunks with John Morant. But he know how to jump and and he
yeah,
dunk with authority like that type of thing. I don't get that vibe with Jaylen Brown. Is all I'm saying. Like I'm cool.
Yeah, I think Jaylen Brown might be the type to maybe be more creative with his dunks. Maybe not bring so much of the veracity to the dunk, but maybe just a little bit like who was it that you probably don't know, but they replayed this over the weekend. But there was somebody that did they put the cupcake on the rim and lit the candle, and then somebody went up, blew the candle out, and then slammed it down.
I
Like,
remember that dunk. I don't remember who did it though. I do remember that
yeah,
dunk.
I don't remember who did it either, but they replayed it over the weekend, and I think something like that, like in terms of just the creativity of it, I can see Jaylen Brown bringing that to the contest, not so much being a ferocious dunker like a John Morant could be.
Yeah. I mean, we need the stars. We agree that we need the stars. I
Hmm.
don't know if I want to see Jaylen Brown. I be personally. But not because
He'd be better than anybody else. He'd be better than
I don't know if
people in the
he'd be.
past.
I know he'd be a bigger name. I don't know that he'd be better. I don't know
Mm.
that.
Well, that's what I meant. That let
Yeah.
me rephrase that. That it would be a bigger name, not so much maybe him having the best dunk. You know what I'm saying?
I mean,
So
older days when it was like that. I mean, I hate that I'm old and I got to keep resorting to that dunk contest with Steve Francis and Vince Carter and
hmm
it's another guy I'm missing, but those 2000s dunk contests, like we still talking about
yeah,
those, and outside of that 2016 dunk contest, that was a good one.
yeah,
And I guess the 2012 with Nate Robinson and Dwight Howard, maybe some people rank
yeah.
that one
Dwight was
high.
good. I thought Blake was good in one of those ones in the
Yeah.
mid
Oh, when he was jumping over the
2010s.
key, yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah,
don't, yeah.
yeah. Nah, I thought that was impressive. I thought that was
Yeah, man.
impressive.
We need the names. We need the names, and we need the names, and we need those stars to show out. But
Yeah, for
I
sure.
mean, a lot like that. Players that don't even want to play 82 games no more, and load management and all that type of stuff. I mean, I can see. I mean, this it feels like this all plays a role in how people participate in the All Star game. It's like, what am I doing this for?
Right, right. So the theory that I keep hearing is that LeBron kind of killed All Star Weekend, and I think that comes from him not participating in said dunk contest, him not giving it 100% in the All Star game. A lot of people reference when God rest his soul, Kobe Bryant was still alive. When he be in these All Star games, Kobe took it seriously,
Yeah.
more than anybody. And I think that's what people are craving for. People are just craving for players to take this seriously in the
The
modern
true
day
Yeah, the
part of the
true
game.
best of the best. Like I never forget that All Star game with Steph Marbury and Kobe was on the team too, but I guess they
Hmm.
was going back to back 3 pointers and like that type of stuff.
Yeah,
Because we ain't asking them to kill themselves, we just asking them to be competitive. You know what I'm
some
saying?
effort. Yeah,
And yeah, and it just doesn't seem like we it's a whole lot of that nowadays. Don't seem like it.
nah, not at all, not at all, man. But to kind of answer the question about is this format good enough moving forward, I will say the problem with this format is that they did this just to commemorate the Winter Olympics. USA versus the world. We got Olympic stuff going on. This is
Hmm.
like the second or third week this is going on here. So and NBC, um, which NBC is stock is just so high right now. They just had the Super Bowl 2 weekends ago, and now they got these Olympic games, and now they got the All Star game in the NBA. So they've been rolling in terms of sports programming, but I think the issue with this format is you can't do this every year because if this is about commemorate commemorating the Olympics, the Winter Olympics, Winter Olympics is once every 4 years. So what are you gonna do next year? You gonna go back to team Steph versus team Ant Man? Like what? Like what are we doing here? Because people have been criticizing that format as well.
Yeah. Well, and then there was like 4 different games. That's what I'm understanding. It was like four,
It was 4 different games. Yeah,
yeah, bro. I'm
it was
good.
four
I'm
different
good.
games.
Much like I did Sunday. I was doing whatever I was doing, and when I had a second to cut the TV on, I was like, "Oh, let me go ahead and see what's up with this game." And I'm
Yeah,
like, it's just something. It's just something that's on the TV now.
it was just noise for me. I was doing a
Yeah,
bunch of stuff around the house, and it was just kind of, nothing really like popped. Nothing made me turn my head to be like, oh, I got to see that again. Like it was just, you know, them just doing a scrimmage at the end of the day.
yeah, for sure. I want to say a quick happy birthday to Michael Jeffrey Jordan. I don't know how old he is. He old as hell, but shout out to him.
63 years old.
63. Shout out to him. I also want to say happy birthday to my stepmother, Linnell. Love you to life.
Happy birthday, Linnell.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Just in case somebody catch a whiff of it, I don't want to say happy birthday to Michael Jordan and not say happy birthday to you. Love you to life.
There you go.
Um,
There you go.
uh,
I'll say a quick happy birthday too to my Aunt Gwen also. She just had a birthday last
happy
week,
birthday,
so
happy birthday.
definitely.
I saw and I know I mean, we don't got a whole bunch of news, but I saw an interesting debate on Twitter before I got onto the show,
Yeah.
and I think I know who you picking, but
Yep.
I just want to hear I just want to hear your thoughts. Melo versus KD, who's better?
Katie, it pains me a bit. I mean, I like both these guys, but
Obviously,
Melo. I mean, Melo for me, I pick Melo with my heart, but KD, he's just got the length, man. Pause. He's just taller. He's just taller, man.
I saw
That's the difference for me.
I saw a discussion on Twitter where a guy was caping for Melo,
Hmm.
and I ain't gonna lie to you, like, cause and don't, let's be very 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 clear. Melo, Hall of Famer, dog, one of the
Yeah.
best scorers to ever do it.
Yep.
Um, like in the video, they were saying who's a better scorer, Melo or KD, and they said Melo so easily.
Hmm.
And I was just like, is Melo's a better scorer than KD? Like, look, and look, let me be very clear.
Hmm.
Melo has definitely has a better mid range jumper than KD. I mean, quite frankly, he's willing to shoot it more than KD, shoot
Yeah.
that mid range more than KD.
Yeah.
But I'll give that to him. 3 pointers go to KD. The,
Hmm.
off the dribble, getting to the rack, that goes to KD.
Hmm.
Like I was like, but they was making it seem like Carmelo Anthony was such a better scorer than KD, and I was sitting there like, yo, is this a New York thing? Like, is this nigga must be from New York
I
or
think it's closer though. I think it's closer. I will side with you that I give the edge to KD, but I think it's closer than what I think you may be portraying it to be.
no, I think I no. Well, okay, then forgive me for my bad acting job, but because it's not. This
Hmm.
is not me saying in any shape. I'm not saying KD here and Carmelo here.
I got you. I got
I'm
you.
just saying. I'm just
Hmm.
saying. The only thing that I think. The only two things. Let me take that back. The only two things that I am confident that Carmelo Anthony does better than KD is post
Hmm.
up and his in mid range.
Yeah.
Like, but going off the dribble, I got KD. Anything that requires muscle, I got Carmelo. Anything that requires you know what I'm saying, I
Yep.
got Carmelo hands down, no argument.
Yep.
But it's not like KD don't post up. You know what I'm saying? It's not like
Hmm.
I don't know. I
Melo
was
Melo posts up better than
for
KD.
sure, for
But if we're
sure.
talking about like all around game, because I'm also thinking about the times when KD had to be a point forward. I'm thinking
Yeah,
about those times, and KD can give you 10 assists in a game, like if he had to. You know what I'm saying? If KD had to, play playmaker, he can do that.
right.
Carmelo, you know,
He
I don't want
scores.
to put the ball hog, name attached to him, but for the
But
Melo,
we ain't
for the
gonna
most
act like
part,
that. But we also ain't gonna act like that wasn't a conversation when he was playing. You know what I'm
oh
saying?
yeah,
And
for
I'm not.
sure,
Yeah.
for sure.
And I won't go as far as to say he's a ball hog. I wouldn't do that. But I mean, those
Mm,
conversations were had when you're talking about Carmelo Anthony.
yeah.
I just couldn't fathom. And again, if you picking Carmelo, all right, God bless. That's your opinion. But
Mm.
the way dude was talking, like KD ain't capable of putting 60, and when he was in his prime, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? I will even give this. I just thought about it. I will even say this.
Hmm.
I think I would give the edge rebounding to Carmelo. As far as all around, if we're talking about
I was
all
thinking
around
about that
game,
too. I,
if we're
I
talking
was
about
thinking
all
about
around game,
rebounding.
if
I
we're
was
talking
thinking
about
about
all around game,
rebounding.
I think I would give the edge of rebounding to Carmelo. Um,
Melo's a better rebounder. KD is a better playmaker. KD is a better scorer than Carmelo.
who played better defense? I'm
Um,
going
I
KD.
think I think you say KD.
I'm just talking about career wide. Yeah, obviously, obviously when you
Oh,
become a star at some point, you don't have to, you know what I'm saying. But if we talking
right.
about, I got
Better
KD.
better defense. Durant.
Me, yeah, I got KD too.
Better defense. Durant. Yeah. I mean, it's really off the strength of he's just got the wingspan, you know, and
I
and
think
and
he's
quite.
more willing
Let
to
me not
play it.
let me not disrespect KD in that regard. It's more than just the wingspan. I mean, KD can block shots. He can guard
And
perimeter.
he's from my vantage point, he's way more willing to play defense than Carmelo is.
Right. Yeah. So yeah, nah. But your question at the top of the segment was who's a better player? Yeah, KD's the
Yeah,
better player.
yeah, okay. I thought you was going that way. I didn't think you was one. I didn't think that was the hill you would have died on. But I just saw it
Hmm.
on another pod. I was like, let me ask Trey just in case I ain't, in case I don't know
Nah,
my man's
Melo,
better
my
than.
man's though.
Yeah,
Melo's
yeah, for
he's
sure. Who don't fuck with Carmelo Anthony? Like you know what I'm
yeah.
saying? It's like that you a hater if you don't fuck with Carmelo Anthony. Like
Right,
just point
right.
blank and period. But yeah, I the way he was speaking, the dude was speaking with so much bravado.
Hmm.
I couldn't believe it. Like he was like, and then his man was like after he said what he had to say, he was like, you know
Hmm.
what? You're right. Carmelo is better than KD. And I was like, oh man. Yeah, see, nah, I don't get. Yeah, for sure,
Yeah.
for sure.
Yep. Hey, so I wanted to have a Chris Paul conversation because it had me thinking about this probably for a few days now, since he announced officially that he's retiring from the game after 21 years. And for real, I kind of hate how he had to be forced into it just because of the whole whatever that situation was with the Clippers when we came back and there
They wasn't
seemed
getting
like there wasn't enough
along.
space for him. Yeah, that stuff. So I kind of hated that it happened on the heels of that, but I do want to congratulate him on 21 seasons of just Hall of Fame career, man. I hate the fact that he wasn't able to get the chip, but one of the all time great point guards, in this league. This is what I was thinking about, and he's played for a number of teams and stuff like that, right? So I'm gonna set aside his time with the Spurs and the Warriors because that was just more to me. That was just more about him providing leadership in terms of he was much more of maybe a role player ish type of player when he was with San Antonio, and definitely when he was at Golden State, coming off the bench. So I'm going to set those two situations aside. I've been debating which has been more the impressive situation that he's been in, and the two situations I'm talking about was when he went to OKC right before the bubble, and when he went to Phoenix and they went to the finals that year against Milwaukee. And it got me thinking, like, his time in Phoenix was more impressive because of obviously getting to the finals. That was his first finals appearance. if you remember, that Phoenix team missed 10 straight playoffs. He comes in with Devin Booker, and they just drafted DeAndre Ayton. Monty Williams is the head coach, and they go from a dumpster fire to immediately in the finals. Like that's got to be impressive as hell, to make that kind of jump, to really make that kind of impact as a player. But then I'm thinking about when he went to OKC, and if you remember, like the events leading to that, so Dame knocks the Thunder out the playoffs with the big shot against Paul George. Remember, Paul George signed a big contract. They had Nas come to the celebration party and all this stuff, and Westbrook, was in the picture. They posing and stuff like that, and then they get in the playoffs, and Dame knocks him out in, I think that was 5 games or something like that, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the Thunder, after that, they dismantle the team. That was also Kawhi coming off the championship in Toronto. That was the whole, hey, if you don't get me Paul George to come to the Clippers, I'm not coming to the Clippers, right? So that happened. So they traded Paul George to the Clippers. They get a young SGA in return for that. And then, if I'm not mistaken, if I remember correctly, Chris Paul was in a trade from the Rockets to the Thunder. And I think, wasn't Westbrook the one that they sent to the Rockets? Because didn't Westbrook play with Harden in Houston for that 1 year before I think he went to the Wizards?
Mm-hmm.
If I'm getting that timeline right?
Yeah.
So there you have it. So Chris Paul's with the Thunder, and projections is that this team wasn't going to be any good. Like this was the tear down year. He probably was going to be there for a year, maybe a year and a half. Maybe they trade him, and they have like a 600 winning percentage. Now it was sort of a shortened season because he was one of the faces of sports shutting down, along with Rudy Gobert, which was the true face of sports shutting down. If you remember him touching the mic and all this stuff, and then he tested positive and everything. But that Jazz game against that Thunder team with Chris Paul, I remember Chris Paul, talking to officials and talking to players and officials and stuff. And that's when it was a national game, I remember. And they said, hey, we shutting it down. Like we're league shutting down, everybody's going home, that kind of a thing. But at that point, the Thunder was in playoff contention. And once they decided they were going to do the whole bubble thing in Orlando, they get the 8 games, I think it was a regular season 8 games, and then they push it to the playoffs. And then they ended up playing the Rockets in the first round, and they took the Rockets to 7 games. Now, granted, it's the bubble. There's no real crowds. It's fake noise. It's, all the unusual things that happen. But I think you can make a case that run, or his time with the Thunder, was more impressive because of the way they had to immediately tear down that previous team with Westbrook and Paul George. They tear that down and brought him in with a bunch of guys that, I'm trying to think who was the second best player on that Thunder team at the time. I mean, remember, SGA wasn't really SGA yet. He was just a young, cat. Steven Adams was still, a holdover from that team. And then Lou Dort, that was the first time I learned about Lou Dort. You know what I'm saying? So I'm stuck between those two situations, like which is the more like impressive run, because you can make a case for both situations he was in.
Yeah, you said a lot. You said a lot just to ask me what was the more impressive run. I think the Suns is still the more impressive run though.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately, the Thunder. I guess the thing is with the Thunder is that I don't think anybody had any real expectations. I remember when we were talking about it.
Yeah.
Nobody was expecting this team to be good, and as the season went on, we was like, this Thunder team might really be good. This Thunder team might really be good, And
Mm-hmm.
I think maybe more than ever than any other team he played for, we realized the Chris Paul effect was real. I guess you know
Yep.
what I'm saying,
Yep.
because even with the
Mm-hmm.
Clippers, you had Blake Griffin, you had DeAndre Jordan, you
Live
had
City. Mm-hmm.
Doc Rivers. You had kind of a situation where they were kind of groomed for success.
Yeah.
Whereas when you go into Oklahoma City, and really, it was just like we got rid of everybody. Who can we bring in just to say we got a team for real,
Yeah.
for real? And then they overachieved. Not even kind of, and then they overachieved. But I think it was impressive about. I mean, getting to the finals is getting to the finals, no matter how you slice it. I think Chris Paul put Devin Booker into another category, at least at
Mm-hmm.
the time, where people were saying that maybe he was the better player. The better. I remember we was having a conversation in one particular series when they were playing KD. I think KD was with
The Suns. You're saying when Chris
uh,
Paul was with the Suns?
right. No, we were talking about who was the better player, who was the one, who was the two. That's
Oh,
what we were
oh,
talking
when
about.
KD was
That
with
right.
Phoenix.
And
Yeah.
you was we was having that conversation. But I think
Yeah.
Chris Paul was kind of the catalyst to kind of bring Devin Booker out to kind of being on that next level.
Yeah.
Putting him where all he had to do was get in position to score. And I think he
Yep.
might have even took a couple of pointers, because when it was time for Devin Booker to be point guard,
Yep. He
he
was able
really
to do
showed
that.
up. He was able to
Mm-hmm.
facilitate and score points at the same time.
Yeah.
So I think that Chris Paul, for what he did to Devin Booker's career, obviously getting the Suns and helping getting the Suns to the finals. I
Mm-hmm.
think that's the more impressive run. I think that's the more impressive Chris Paul. But I would definitely go with that. I mean, obviously we could talk about early on back in the Pelicans days, when he was actually putting up points and facilitating the ball.
Right. Yeah.
But I think when you talk about his who he is as a player, which is a point guard, I think that run in Phoenix was the most impressive.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I think for all the reasons you said, finals appearance and who he was able to impact on that team, as well, putting Devin Booker on a playoff stage
I mean,
at
hell,
that.
even what he did for DeAndre Ayton. I mean,
Yeah.
I remember us saying, I'm like, man, this is going to be good for DeAndre Ayton, maybe more than anybody. And
Mm-hmm.
he might have got a couple of contracts that I ain't gonna say didn't deserve, but his play in Phoenix might have got him some contracts in the
Yeah.
future. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? He was
Yeah.
being touted as one of the better centers in the league at that
Yeah.
time when Chris Paul was running point guard.
Yeah. I'm glad you bring that up because it also puts Chris Paul in this conversation where anytime he's on the floor, whoever the big is, whether he's playing the 4 or the 5, is just going to have an immediate impact on that. Like that player is going to be able to do more than what's expected. Like you go back to the Hornets days. They were the Hornets, by the way.
Yeah.
They weren't the Pelicans yet. They were still
Mm-hmm.
come fresh, moving from
Right.
Charlotte and all
Right.
that. There was the Hornets at the time, and David West,
Yeah.
was impactful on that team because of Chris Paul. Tyson Chandler, for the number of years he was in New Orleans, was impactful because Chris Paul was there. And then obviously he gets to LA and you got Blake and you got DeAndre.
Exactly.
You
DeAndre
got
Jordan.
DeAndre there too, DeAndre Jordan there, and and now you reference
And
him in his time in Phoenix.
pretty much every stop, he did his job, and he did it at the top level. Because I mean, and even in the league where they
and
seem
and,
to be
and
trying
even
to
with the
eliminate that.
Rockets, right?
Yeah.
And even with the Rockets, because I know we don't, we're kind of forgetting his time with the Rockets a little bit here, but he got close in terms of championship. He got close with that team also. It's just too bad that he had that hamstring injury that kept him out of Game 6 and Game 7 against the Warriors in that conference finals that one year there. But as far as having the impact on the bigs there, Clint Capella, when he was with the Rockets, he sort of became a household name because of Chris Paul. So
Well, I won't call him a household name, but he got that contract in Atlanta.
yeah, right. Well, that's what I mean.
Yeah.
There is like, yeah, he made that guy some money. He made the bigs, whether they played the 4 or the 5, they made him more impactful wherever he went. And Oklahoma City sort of it's an interesting case with Oklahoma City because again, you didn't know who the second best person on that team was, which is why I could make a case that that's probably the more impressive stop in his career because of what he was able to do despite it being, a shortened season due to COVID, and despite being in the playoffs in the bubble, what they did, taking that series to 7. Because I remember we were going back and forth, and this was the other conversation we were having. Chris Paul being clutch. I think that was a conversation you and I was having. Can he hit the big shots? Can he be able to score with the James Hardens and the KDs and all this stuff? And my thing was he's probably not going to drop 12 straight points like that, like the other guys can do, but he's going to find a way to keep the game close, whether it's him facilitating or whether it's him taking the shots himself. He's going to find a way to keep his teams in these games, and then if the ball is in his hands, he's going to take the shot. So, yeah, I think either situation to me is impressive, but I tend to lean your way in that. Look, you make the finals, it's always going to be impressive, no matter how you slice it.
Yeah. Yep. That's it, and that's all. Quick. I guess a quick hitter. Tyson is fighting Floyd Mayweather March 25th. That's it. I don't
I thought they scrapped this thing. Like,
nah, I saw it today. That they supposed to be fighting March 25th. Yep. So there you go. If y'all into watching old niggas fight, it's an exhibition match.
Man, boxing is in a terrible place right now.
No, I think they just choose to highlight the bullshit. I don't think boxing is in a terrible place. I just think they choose to highlight these exhibition matches as opposed to paying attention to that clinic that Shakur Stevenson put on a couple of weeks ago. I think that's the real issue. But I won't take this time to shit on Floyd Mayweather nor Mike Tyson as they are legends in this boxing game. But hear me and hear me good. Hey y'all, can we start putting the focus back on the real fighters? This is an exhibition match. This don't have to be. Yeah, we don't have to. We don't have to push this like it's a marquee fight. This ain't finna be a marquee fight. It's parody. It's a damn shame that people are finding more entertainment in older, out of shape boxers is the way I'll put it. You know what I'm saying? Because I won't say they're not skilled. They both are very skilled, especially for their age. And for the experience they have in the game. But this is they're not conditioned. This is gonna look stupid. And I don't want to. I'm lying. I'm going to watch it. Let me not tell a lie.
I'm not
going to watch it. I'm going to watch it. But I'm not gonna watch it with the intent like I'm about to be my boxing fan my boxing fandom is gonna be fed. It's not gonna be fed in this situation. It's just I respect Mike Tyson and I respect Floyd Mayweather. And if this is a ploy for them to make some money because money ain't coming the way they used to with coming, sure, I'll watch it for that.
Even if it's free, I'm not watching it, bro. Y'all can have that.
In NFL news.
Hey, before you move on to NFL, boxing, not boxing related, but maybe more mixed martial arts / UFC related. Ronda Rousey's coming back to fight.
I ignored that. I was hoping that you were gonna bring it up, but go ahead.
Why are you ignoring it? I was just curious.
Because I'm not interested in why you got waxed the last 3 times you fought, and that was over 10 years ago. What it's not like look, I get it. You might maybe you need the money. Maybe it's a passion of yours. It's something you were successful in at one
Hmm.
point in life. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But what are we doing? It's like Deontay Wilder fought recently. Um, got mopped up real quick,
And went
it,
back to hiding.
yeah, it's just like, bro, bro, we don't have to do this. We don't have to do
Yeah.
this. And maybe they do. Maybe they do. Maybe they feel, you know what I'm saying? Who am I to tell
Yeah.
somebody not to, go towards the things they want to do in life? I'm just not I'm not interested in watching Ronda Rousey fight. I am not.
No, well, me neither. Me neither. I only brought it up to just ask the question why, and you kind of answered,
I
the
mean,
why
I
part
don't know.
for
Yeah,
me.
I definitely don't know her why. I don't know her personal why. I mean, I would assume it got something to do with
Yeah.
money. It may have something to do with passion. Like, I
Yeah.
remember, again, this was so long ago. Like, but I remember she did an interview somewhere, however long ago, and she was
Hmm.
just like, I took them ass whippings and I got down on myself. I got, like she was the pinnacle of female
Yeah.
mixed martial arts at one point
Right.
in Fast and Furious movies and doing all the things. And then she took them ass whippings and now she want to go to WWE and then she goes to WWE and how I don't quite know how that ended because I don't watch wrestling. But it's
Yeah.
just like, but I know it didn't end well because she ain't still wrestling.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's like I guess who am I to tell you to not try? I'm just good on it. I'm just good on it.
Yeah, I'm good on it too. I don't know her why. I can already tell you the UFC's why into it is that it's good for them. It's nostalgia
Yeah.
for them.
If you can,
I don't.
yeah, nostalgia, so a fan can say, "Oh, I remember when she was the one," and
Mhm.
and that might be the reason why somebody would say, "Hey, let's click on this pay per view or let's click on this fight," because I
Yeah,
remember when she was her. Let me see what she doing now. All these years later, I understand the appeal, I understand the draw, but I'm good.
yeah. Like
I'm
like like
good.
is the UFC struggling? Like, don't answer that because I know you don't know the answer. I'm just
Well,
hypothetically
no, I do
putting the
know the
question
answer. The
there.
answer is no, they're not struggling. But why would but that even if they were struggling, like
Hmm.
Ronda Rousey is a draw. She would be a draw.
Yeah,
I'm not saying she would be the biggest draw, that they have to offer, but
yeah,
she is a draw. Like people remember when she
yeah.
like if you had to talk about the biggest female mixed martial artist fighter ever, Ronda
Hmm.
Rousey is in that conversation. I
For
don't know where
sure.
she ranks, but she's certainly in the conversation. There was
Hmm.
a time when she was the top of the sport.
Yep.
So yeah, I get why they would do it. I get why she would do it. I guess I'm just good on it.
Yeah. Nah, I'm good on it too.
I'm not a big
NFL.
I'm not a big mixed martial arts watcher anyway, and I know you're not. So
Yeah,
it was
definitely
just
not.
yeah.
Definitely not. All right, NFL.
NFL. The Dolphins released Tyreek Hill and Bradley Chubb, and now Jalen Waddle wants out. Um, Let me be very, very,
And
very,
I don't
very
blame them
clear.
either.
No, of course not. At this point, you're probably not gonna have a quarterback either. At some, you know what I'm saying? I saw
Hmm.
Twitter headlines saying that the Dolphins might be willing to absorb the rest of the contract, and then here come the Twitter. I mean, the Pittsburgh Steelers Twitter talking about, yeah, well, if they eat up the contract, should we be trying to go get Tua Tagovailoa? Um, Let me be very, very clear. The answer is no on my side. But I did think about this because
Hmm.
uh, Pittsburgh got like $45 million projected in the sport in the salary cap this year.
Uh-huh. Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Which is actually, and just in case you were wondering, Baltimore is at 16 with 22.7. Just in case you
Yeah,
were
I'm
wondering.
aware. I'm aware.
Yeah. So we got a little money to spend. You know what I'm saying? Now would I spend it? Would I
I'm
spend it
like,
on
where are you
Tyreek
going with
Hill?
this?
No. The only person I would be interested in is Jalen Waddle. Let me just get that out
I was
of the
about to
way.
say, I'm
The
like, where
only
are you
person,
going with this?
the only person I would be interested in. But we're not gonna act like Tyreek Hill still wouldn't be Tyreek Hill. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, he would
Well,
definitely.
no,
Or
I thought you was about to go down the road of, well, if they cut Tua,
man, fuck
we
no.
got some money. I'm
Fuck, I don't want
like,
no.
my
You know
nigga,
damn well I don't want no Tua Tagovailoa on
my
the
nigga,
Pittsburgh Steelers.
you
You'd be
gonna hit your
better.
head.
Yeah, I'd be better. I've told you what I wanted Joe Milton. I wanted Joe Milton last year. So let's be
Yeah.
clear. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm okay with getting somebody young and being trash for a year or two so we can go get a franchise quarterback.
If Mac Jones is out there on the street, would you? I mean, it might not excite you, but you know he could play. He could play.
Um, he could play under Kyle Shanahan's system. He didn't look
Yeah.
good in New England.
Yeah, I mean, well, he had that one. I guess that was the rookie year. I mean, I know that was some years ago,
Yeah,
but I
he
mean,
didn't look he didn't look good.
I mean, majority of the time in New England, he did not look good.
Yeah, I
But
mean, would I want Mac Jones?
if he was out there, if
I don't know, man. I'm still trying to process who the fuck we hired as in our coaching staff. Not just the Mike McCarthy thing, but
mhm,
Patrick Graham. Patrick Graham from the Raiders is now our
yeah,
defensive coordinator. Whoever the fuck Tom Arch is a, like, we ended up, we got on the defensive, as a defensive line coach. You remember Pecco from the Bengals?
I think so. I think
94
so.
with
Yeah.
The long hair. He's our
hmm
defensive line coach this year. And I'm
Mm.
not saying he's going to be good or bad. I just, like, that's what we
It was
doing,
out of
fam.
nowhere. It
Yeah,
was out of left
I
field.
mean, yeah. It's a bunch of no names is what I'm getting at. It's a bunch of no
Yeah,
names on our
yeah.
like, we got the Vikings passing game coordinator as our OC this year. I forget his name, but it's
hmm
just I'm just not impressed. I'm not impressed.
hmm
Whoever we bring in as far as players, we
hmm
definitely, I'm looking into like solid pickups, like solid football players. Not necessarily the big names, but just solid
Right,
football players.
right.
Like, I also saw conversations about, because Kenneth Walker is a free agent, and
Yeah.
should Pittsburgh get Kenneth Walker? Now, I thought about it, and because we need a running back. I think we gotta have. I think, and I know I turned into a
hmm
Steelers conversation that fast when we were talking about the Dolphins, but so what? I thought about this. Kenneth Walker would mean that we would have to get rid of somebody, and somebody namely being Jalen Warren. In my guess, not because some type of money thing, but it's like
hmm
Kenneth Gainwell has proven his worth, and he's not that
hmm
expensive. And I'm not saying
Yeah.
Warren is expensive either, but
You wouldn't
um,
do that. You wouldn't do that in a heartbeat, though. Like you
yeah,
wouldn't say,
I
"Hey,
honestly,
Kenneth
I think
Walker, bring him
I think I
in.
would, and let,
Jalen Warren,
love you to
peace
life.
out."
Yeah, yeah,
hmm
I would.
Yeah, I was
Um,
about to say, yeah.
but
I
it
think
would, but
anybody
I ain't
would.
gonna act like it wouldn't have kind of, like, I feel I like Jalen Warren. You know what I'm
Yeah, yeah.
saying?
Nah, it's a sentimental thing. Yeah, I get
But
it. I
yeah,
get it.
but the stats is the stats. He's not producing well as a number one. Um,
hmm
I don't even know. Look, I'm surprised. I mean, I feel like Caleb Johnson kind of let us down this year, because you remember I told you by the end of the year, Caleb Johnson would be the number one, and we would just,
Oh yeah, you did say that.
yeah,
Yeah,
he ever since that special teams fumble, he just kind of, I don't
against
know.
some Seahawks. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
So the Dolphins. Back to the Dolphins.
I'm sorry, but they released Tyreek Hill. I guess everybody is assuming that he's either going to go to the Chiefs or it was another team. It was another.
Buffalo.
No. It was where the hell did Mike McDaniel go?
Oh, to the Chargers.
To the Chargers. There you go.
Mm, that's interesting. I didn't even think about it that way, but
That's what I've been
I've
seeing
been
on Twitter: the Chargers or the Chiefs.
yeah, I've been seeing KC, I've been seeing Buffalo, I've been seeing the Ravens as a potential destination, but one of the first things that's got to happen first is Tyreek Hill, continue to rehab on what was it, the leg? It was the leg. So,
Something like that. Yeah.
um, and then when he get healthy, is he gonna be Tyreek Hill?
Yeah.
That's the other thing
Yeah.
there. So
Because
you really
he's
taking
30
a
something.
yeah, right. I mean, it's risk reward at this point in his career. I'd say so. If it don't work out, I mean, I can't see him being this amount of money. Like I can't see him being expensive at this stage in his
What did
career.
define expensive?
So what was he getting? He was getting what, 25
Thir-
or 30?
I thought it was 30 when he by the time he got to Miami.
Okay, so like maybe what, 18? I think 18 might still be, because I'm thinking about Odell Beckham. Odell Beckham got the 18 for the 1 year
Yeah.
with the Ravens. That's kind of a similar ish
Okay.
situation he
Situation.
would
Yeah.
be in
Yeah.
for
Okay.
sure.
Okay.
Um, can I see somebody giving him 18? I don't know. I don't know.
I'm gonna tell you, I can definitely see an Indianapolis Colts giving giving him 18 million.
A team like that's got some, holes to fill and some money to spend. Yeah, I could see
Yeah,
that.
because no shade to Alec Pierce and the
Michael
others.
Pittman.
There you go, Michael Pittman.
Hmm.
I don't believe any of those guys are number ones, and I don't know that Tyreek Hill is going to come in at 32, 33 and become a number one. I just know that he knows how to be a number one.
Hmm. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? As I'm looking at this salary cap space with people who, some of these people who got cap space, um, the Redskins. I mean, the Redskins seem like everybody going to the Redskins this off season with all the, you know what I'm saying? But shit, the Chargers got
Hmm.
$87 million of cap space.
Really?
Yeah,
How?
projected in it. Yeah, well, where's the only person paid is Herbert. Who
Don't
else is getting?
what's the name got a big deal? Derwin. Don't Derwin got a big contract?
I can't imagine Derwin James having a big contract. I can't imagine it. He's been injured. He's been injured majority. He's been so injured.
So wait, so after his rookie deal, I guess he's been getting what? Like maybe some 1 year, like 1 year deals
I
after
don't
that,
give me the
or
line. Don't give me the line about what
that's
his
what I'm
money
saying.
is.
That's what I'm saying. I'm just thinking
And then when
about
you talk about a safety,
yeah,
I mean, what are we
yeah,
talking about? $20 million, maybe. And I don't think he's making $20
maybe
million. I mean, because the safety market isn't that high.
right, right.
Yeah, I don't think he's making. I don't think he's making $20 million. And to be honest with you, I don't think he's making over 50. If I had to take a guess of how much money Durham James is making a year, I'd say somewhere between $10 and $15 million.
Yeah, but I guess the point I'm trying to make is I feel like they have other big contracts, not
I
like Justin Herbert size contracts, but he ain't the only
well,
one getting money.
right, but again, you got to think about where are the big money positions: wide receiver, quarterback, pass
Pass
rusher.
rush,
That's it. Who's
Khalil
their top
Mack
pass?
ain't getting no money. I'm not. I know he's not a
No,
big.
no,
No. Okay.
no.
All
I
right.
mean, not top pass rusher money. No,
Okay.
I don't
Okay.
think. I don't. Yeah, and who's their wide receiver? Keenan Allen.
I'm
Keenan
trying to
Allen might be
think.
getting $13 million,
I'm
and
trying to
Larry
figure out how
McConkey
did.
on a rookie contract.
I'm trying to think how did they get the 80 something $1 million in
They
projected
not
cap
paying
space?
nobody. They not paying nobody, but they not paying nobody big money.
That's crazy. That
Are you interested
okay.
in? Are you interested in the top 10?
Yeah, ring it off.
Number one, Tennessee.
Hmm.
Number two,
Makes sense.
Las Vegas. Number
Hmm.
three, the Chargers. Number four, who always seem like they always gonna be in the top 10 somewhere, the New York Jets.
Hmm.
Number five is the Seattle Seahawks with
Hmm.
$75 million.
Yeah.
Uh,
Let me stop you right there.
yeah.
I'm a guess maybe two or three of the next 10 there.
Okay.
Chicago got to be in there somewhere. Where's Chicago at?
Chicago's at 26. They are negative 10.7 million.
Really?
Yep.
Who's okay? I thought they had some money. New England.
Okay. New England is number 12. So unanimous
Okay,
top 10
just outside of it. Okay, Indianapolis
is number 11.
number 11. Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So who's 6 to 10?
6 to 10, Commanders,
Mm-hmm.
the Cincinnati Bengals,
Okay.
the Los
How?
Angeles.
How in the hell?
Yeah. Well, T. Higgins wasn't he on a tag or did he give him a deal? Did they
They
give
gave
T.
him a
Higgins a deal?
deal.
Okay. Oh, well,
They-
I don't know either. But they paid Jamar, they paid Burrow, they paid Chase. Nobody else is paid. And I get
yeah,
those are three big
that's three big
contracts. So I get
contracts.
those are three
Yeah.
big contracts. But they are number 7 at 54.6 million.
Mm.
Number 8 is the Rams.
Mm-hmm.
Number 9 is the Steelers. Number 10 is the Arizona Cardinals.
Okay. Interesting. Interesting. But
You want
you say projected cap space, so I guess maybe they're also anticipating the potential
stuff
cuts
coming
that
off? Yeah, stuff coming
each
off the
team
books
could
maybe.
make. Yeah.
Yeah, like certain people are free agents, and I guess I don't know exactly how it works, but
Yeah.
any guess who is the at the very bottom?
I will say it's got to be either the Chiefs, New Orleans, or Buffalo.
Hmm, pretty good. The Chiefs are at the bottom. New
Mm.
Orleans is number 31. Buffalo is at
Okay.
like 25.
25. Okay.
Yeah, yeah,
Who's
interesting.
number 30?
Number 30 is Minnesota.
Okay. All right. All right. That makes sense.
In other football news, George Pickens got the George Pickens, number 29, by the way, is the Dallas Cowboys, who just
Mm.
franchise tagged George Pickens. He's going to make $30 million on the tag this year.
Okay.
I guess I guess I guess this is the Dallas Cowboys. So I remember talking to some Cowboys fans and saying, George Pickens is out of here. Like he's going to want $30 million.
Yep.
They
Mm-hmm.
already paying somebody upwards of $30 million in their wide receiver room, along with Dak Prescott.
Mm-hmm.
I can't see it, but the Cowboys do Cowboys things. They give him the tag at $30 million. So we
Which could
look at
be
the run.
anything.
Yeah,
It could be anything. Like they
yeah.
don't they trade Michael Parsons, but we gonna tag George Pickens, and
Well,
George Pickens is a great player. Let me not put that notion out there, but
yeah.
just
So I was having a conversation with Cowboys fans and actually Commanders fans.
mm-hmm.
And somebody said to me that George Pickens is a top 5 wide receiver in the league, and
Mm-hmm.
I kind of frowned on it. But when they was like, no, think about it. Like,
Mm-hmm.
no, he's really a top 5 receiver in the league.
Mm-hmm. I believe him.
Yeah, I didn't think about it until they made me
Mm-hmm.
like kind of roughly
Yeah.
go through the list. And I mean, he's definitely right. I mean, if we're just basing
Yeah.
it off of last year, and
Yeah.
that's all.
I'm not even thinking about it. Like the moment you said it, I was like, oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah, but I guess I didn't think about it. Maybe it got something to do with my Pittsburgh Steelers bias, and you know what I'm saying, whatever. But no, I was like, man, yeah, I was like, yeah, y'all
Yeah.
right there. Legit, last year he was a top 5 wide
He
receiver, and it
balled
didn't.
out last year for
And
sure.
I thought nothing about it. I thought
Yeah,
nothing
no.
about it.
Nah, he's top 5 for sure.
Like he was better than AJ Brown this year. You can't put him in the top 5. He was one of them.
Yeah. I mean, he was better than CD Lamb.
Yeah, I mean for certain,
You know what
for
I'm saying?
certain.
Yeah. Yeah. And
Yep.
look, and it's not Justin Jefferson's fault that JJ McCarthy hasn't played great this year or good for that matter,
Yeah.
but Justin Jefferson kind of, fell off a little bit,
Yeah.
you
Well, yeah.
know.
I mean, if we're basing it on production,
Yeah.
George Pickens was better than Justin Jefferson last year. Now, I
Yeah.
won't go as far as to say that he's a better wide receiver,
Yeah.
but if we're just basing it on production last year, 100% George Pickens was a better wide receiver than Justin Jefferson.
If there's anybody I'm putting over George Pickens, is definitely JSN.
Yeah, obviously.
Yeah.
I still got Jamar Chase over him.
Okay. All right. So he's at Best number 3 at best.
At best numbers. I'm just, yeah, for sure.
Yep.
Yeah,
Okay.
congratulations, George Pickens. Enjoy another year having a quarterback that will actually throw you the ball. Did you happen to run into this Steelers drama where Joey Porter is on Cam Hayward's podcast, criticizing Debo and Ben Roethlisberger for criticizing Mike Tomlin?
So I don't have a lot of the minutia, but I am aware that those conversations took place and that Ryan Clark called for a Steelers reunion or a Steelers meeting of some sort, kind of comparing them to the Cowboys in some ways like that. I did see Ryan Clark come out and express that, but yeah,
Well,
I'm aware of it.
I'll make it short. I'll make it short.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I not that I never not that I ever disliked Joey Porter Senior.
Mm-hmm.
Um, the way he kind of aired out James Harrison and Ben Roethlisberger,
Mm-hmm.
um, I like Joey Porter, man. like like I like him just a little bit more than I knew. Here's what he essentially said. Um, how can you criticize Tomlin when when you was dealing with Cal cut you 3 times. We're talking about James Harrison,
Yeah.
and essentially named you a special teams guy. Also, you wouldn't even be called Debo if it wasn't for Mike Tomlin. And now you're walking around here acting like you Debo 24/7, and it's like, bruh, you James Harrison right now. Like you not Debo. Like
Yeah.
you know, like he walking all. So essentially, he's saying the whole like kind of swole Debo from Friday persona that he has that you
Uh-huh.
see when you see him on social media and all that.
Yeah.
Joey Porter essentially saying that shit is an act. That shit is a facade. That's some shit he do for the camera.
Mm-hmm.
He went on to say that Ben Roethlisberger was a bad teammate. He went into some stories about how when players like it's one thing if a fan asks you for an autograph and you don't give them an autograph because you're doing whatever, woo, woo, woo.
Yeah.
But if like it's I guess some type of protocol that if I come to you on the strength of my family member or something like that, like you kind of should stop what you're doing and sign the autograph. Like meaning, so Ben Roethlisberger in his second year, um, he was like, he I guess Joey Porter came to him like, this is such and such, and can we get an autograph? Can you get an autograph for me to get it in or whatever? And he was like, nah. And he was like, well, the issue with that is that Jerome Bettis, Hall of Famer, going into his last year, if he can do that for people, then Ben Roethlisberger, you best better do that for people. That type of thing.
Mm.
I guess what I'm saying is the way that Joey Porter kind of broke it down on Cam Hayward's podcast.
Mm-hmm.
It gave me a newfound respect for Joey Porter. I wish he would do a podcast. And I just want to give him a shout out. That was really all. I want to give him a shout out for being real and kind of giving it up the way he did because I think everybody knew that Ben Roethlisberger. We respect Ben Roethlisberger because he's a good football player, and I don't know him to be a piece of shit. I don't know him as a person, but
Mm-hmm.
but I ain't gonna bring out his off the field shit. It's just that people have said that Ben Roethlisberger is not a good person off the field, and I'm not talking about allegations. I'm just talking about as a person dealing with
That's been
fans
a
that
popular
right,
conversation
right,
over
right.
the course of
So
his playing year. Yeah.
right, so shout out to Joey Porter for bringing that out. I don't
But
really
I but
have
I still question because I really don't have much commentary on what you
yeah,
said there,
yeah.
but all of that to kind of for me to say why why are former Steelers going after Mike Tomlin?
I don't know. I don't know, especially because I guess kind of leaning back to the to the Joey Porter conversation
Mm-hmm.
because Joey Porter also brought up told another story about where when basically he and I kind of I try to fast track the story best I can. So Joey Porter, Mike Thomas comes in, he tells Joey Porter, hey, we moving in a different direction, whatever. He said he had three conversations with him, three conversations from the time he cut Joey Porter to the time he hired Joey Porter as a coach. One was the conversation, hey, I'm cutting you. Another conversation was them gambling on who was going to win a race between Joey Porter's son and Mike Tomlin's son Dino. And the third conversation was, hey, we need to, you want to come and be a coach. Something of that, I might be telling the story wrong. But then he went on to say that Jarvis Jones, who they had drafted to kind of be that pass rusher on the outside, he hurt himself, and so then there was the conversation of how do we bring who we gonna bring, and he was like, all right, well, let's get James Harrison. That was Keith Butler and Joey Porter's idea, but Tomlin was like, nah, I'm not really messing with him because he gonna come back like Debo, and he's an older guy. So I don't really want to put up with the attitude if you're not going to put up all-star numbers or all-pro numbers. So long story short, they bring him in anyway, and he puts on the numbers and gets him another contract. But they was talking about how Mike Tomlin intentionally led James Harrison to a Hall of Fame career. Like they schemed for James Harrison to have to be the leading sack leader in Pittsburgh to T.J. Watt. Like they schemed it that way. So for James Harrison to be talking bad about Mike Tomlin, he had an issue with it. So that to answer your question, I don't know why James Harrison feels the need to talk about him. He's the only Steeler to come out and say
he's kind of been the one that's been
he's been the
talking
one
about
recently.
him the most.
He's been the one recently, but Ben Roethlisberger has had some critical things to say about him recently, especially when that real bad loss we had this year when they was talking about fire Tomlin.
Yeah.
He has some stuff to say on his podcast that week too. So I don't know, man. I don't know. I mean, because I guess for me, there's a thing about being fair and critical, but then there's another thing about being like sometimes you're not supposed to pour it on thick when this dude is the reason why you had a career, a Hall of Fame career at that.
Right.
So I don't know to answer your question, but shout out to Joey Porter nonetheless.
That's crazy. That's crazy stuff. I got nothing else, man, other than all salutes to the great Reverend Jesse Jackson, rest in peace.
Yeah.
All-time great legend, civil rights leader, all that good stuff, man. Rest in peace. Condolences to the family and all that.
Yeah, for sure. I rest in peace. Legend, obviously, all the things. The last thing I would leave with is Caleb Williams said when he threw that touchdown pass in the playoffs to Komet, when he let it go of his hands, he knew it was a touchdown.
You got to believe, man. If you're the quarterback, you got to believe, man. All right.
He was telling Max Crosby that once it left his hands, he knew that it was going to be a touchdown. Hey, man. All right, brother.
Because look, if I'm Caleb Williams and I'm throwing up a Hail Mary, I at least gotta say it. Like you got me on a pass.
He said it wasn't a Hail Mary.
Sure,
that's what I'm saying.
Sure,
yeah.
but my point is that you put me on a platform and you asking me about a pass that I made, to tie the game up. I assume he's talking about the Rams game, right?
Yeah, the Rams game.
Yeah. You put me on a platform, I'm gonna say, yeah, that sucker was getting caught. Like, period. Even if deep down inside I knew it was a prayer, I gotta come out and say it, man.
What's so wrong with saying it was a prayer, though? What's so wrong with saying it was a prayer?
What's so wrong with it?
Yeah.
it's against principles, man. Like I gotta put the belief out there. I I
All
gotta
right, man.
state the belief, man.
All right, man. I'll let you have that one. I'll let you have that at an
I gotta
hour
state
20. At an hour 20, I'll let you have that one.
I gotta state the belief, man. That's it, man. I gotta believe we had a successful show tonight, despite the technical issues. I still gotta say, hey, yo, we had a successful ass show. So,
But it's reasonable to say that we had a rough start. You know what I'm saying?
no, sure,
yeah,
sure,
yeah.
sure. But
Come on, man.
hey, man, tonight was a success, man. It was a
Yes,
success
indeed.
getting
I
through it,
agree.
man.
I agree. But it was a rough start. So it just like it's okay to be like, man, I saw because he explained the play, and I'll keep it short. He explained the play. He was like, pressure, pressure, pressure. He made a turn to get out of pressure, and all of a sudden he could see the field. So he saw Komet and the defender there, and he was just like, I'm going to throw it in the area, do the 6-7, whatever, give him a shot to make the throw.
Yeah.
Which he did. But, bruh, you didn't know that was a touchdown when you let it go. You didn't. That's cap.
We as fans from the outside call cap for
no,
sure.
some people believe that, but some people believe that. So, yeah.
Well, we ain't some people.
Mm.
We ain't some people, but I do know some people that have tuned in to us this evening. We appreciate everybody in the chats, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, Instagram. Shout out to you guys, the viewers. Shout out to all the listeners. Continue to follow us on the platforms. Click the like button on the Facebook page. Also, subscribe to the YouTube channel. Also, click the like button on our live feeds. It's important. It's very important that you do that. Also, follow us on Instagram at Barbershop Sports Talk Podcast. Also on Twitter at Barbershop SPOR2. And if you got questions, comments, hit us up on the email barbershopsportstalk1 at gmail.com. And that's it for the show, folks. Y'all have a great evening. Love, peace, and happiness to everybody out there. And as we always say, mind your damn business.
Drink some water.
Oh yeah, we got him. Trey, Frazier, and Maestro Styles, we got one. Right back like we left something. We don't duck smoke, we want all of it. So line them up, Trey sharp with the blade, we sizing it up. I'm quick to catch the fade, Styles making the cut. Cause we coming out clean every time that we showing up.
It's gonna be called The Barbershop.